Lily Orchard's every anime I've seen start at 3 minutes 30 seconds in. Okay. There must be 2 really crazy minutes in this video or something.
You believe that?
Oh boy.
Then you really are naive.
Oh
I've never been fond
no.
of the notion.
No, come on. Come on. Come on. What the fuck is going on? Please. This is bait. This is fucking bait. This is bait. Come the fuck on. Please. I didn't... I was trying to not have a reason to have smoke with this fucking person. And you just put this in front of me like this. Thank you, Amy. Utena is like a contender for best thing ever. Yes, I highly agree. Holy shit, what am I in for here?
You believe that? Then you really are naive.
I've never been fond of the notion of a sacred cow, especially where LGBTA rep is concerned. There's always been that age-old question of, is bad rep better than no rep? But that notion implies that those are our only 2 options. Revolutionary Girl Utena is one of those 90s gay anime that's treasured by a lot of millennial gays, because back in the 90s, it was watch this or nothing. But that's always been a false memory. In reality, it was watch this or, you know, Sailor Moon is right there and... better at this than we are. It's still considered by...
That's all you had to say? Okay.
Many to be a cult classic and is considered...
Okay, so real fucking quick, in case anybody doesn't understand the history of Revolutionary Girl Utena, it's to show that the people who were making Sailor Moon made so they could make it gayer. Because Sailor Moon, they could not make that gay. It's for children in Japan in the 90s. Revolutionary Girl Utena was all these fucking gays who worked on that show who wanted to make it gayer going, let's make a really gay one. And the only reason they could get away with it is that fucking Ikuhara went and made Hideaki Anno gay for him so that when Anno created a masterpiece, Ikuhara could say, I can do that too. Look, I hung out. He based his character on me. I am that guy. That guy's gay for me. That guy you all love, he's gay for me. Watch my gay show now. That's how we got Revolutionary Girl Utena, okay? Second of all, if you fucking watched Sailor Moon in the 90s in the United States, it wasn't gay. They took that shit out.
But the look in my cousin's eyes was so intense, so full of knowledge greater than I could imagine, that I was even more afraid. I knew if I stopped running now, there'd be no escape. You know, just because we're family doesn't mean we agree.
They censored that shit in the US release. Utena was the only gay anime you had. You could not just go watch fucking Sailor Moon and it would be gay. You couldn't do that. They censored it. It wasn't right over there.
Mandatory viewing for sapphic anime fans. And I need to make this clear. There is no such thing as mandatory viewing. You watch what you want and don't feel pressured to swallow something just because everyone else thinks it's perfect and above reproach. Now, I did watch this as a child and I did like it and think fondly of it up until about 6 years ago. Now, if you follow my work, you've probably seen my critique of the way Sylvanas Windrunner is written and the way Sylvana fandom likes to romanticize a version of a relationship where you torment each other and then love miraculously happens. And you've probably seen my criticism of
No, I haven't seen any of this.
The same way. Don't you get it? I love you. I always have.
I don't care. I don't care about She-Ra. You have 2 minutes to get through Utena right now.
Is what you left me for? A blonde girl who thinks she's better than everyone, barging into my room all day. Oh, wait.
Why is this happening? I don't care about She-Ra.
On your friends' faces when they find out.
Why do you read all these fucking articles?
Let you win. I'd rather see the whole world end than let that happen. We can turn the rebellion.
Am I gonna get copy struck for her using this fucking song?
That's good. I told you not to come back. You just love feeling like a hero, don't you? I wonder which of your friends I'll have you annihilate.
I have no opinion about any. I haven't seen She-Ra. I haven't seen her videos about She-Ra. I haven't read any of these websites that she's fucking listing on the screen ever in my life. Why would I? What sane person would?
Gently hits me when we're alone. Do you hear yourself? He shouldn't be hitting me.
I haven't. I thought this was going to be about Utena being toxic.
Started. Like many shows before it and after it, Utena carries this idea about surviving from abuse and trauma as if it scars you in some irreparable way. And like
it doesn't.
Fan fiction, it romanticizes this idea. One of the main characters is an intense trauma survivor who is never able to break free of the stranglehold of romanticized.
But she literally does at the end of the fucking show. The whole show is about breaking free from the stranglehold. Also, she's a fucking teenager.
Trauma and is almost constantly confronted with their abuser at every turn, even taking her anger out on her partner a lot of the time. Furthermore, while that abuse is portrayed negatively, it has the same problem as The Legend of Korra and basically every depiction of Sylvanas being murdered by Arthas, in that it's so gratuitous and grisly that it passes the point of being unsettling and starts to make me...
In fucking Utena? Gratuitous and grisly? You see the lights shut off and the shutters go down. You just see her like laying down and making a face. It's like the least gratuitous I have ever fucking seen of handling its subject matter.
I think that the writers are getting a little too into it. If you're looking for a source as to why trauma fetishism and abuse fetishism is so common in sapphic circles on the internet, well, look no further than here. It was watched by so many kids that it affected their writing as adults. I was one of those people, and one day I had to sit back and go, hang on, this is terrible. Why am I trying to emulate this? It's a
Okay, that was more than you paid for. We actually went three whole minutes instead of the paid for 2. I had to get past I was kind of interrupted by all that fucking bullshit with the She-Ra. I felt like I had to give it extra time so I could figure out what the fucking argument was. Bro, she's out here trying to say that Revolutionary Girl Utena, a show that no one had fucking seen until this decade. May I remind you, this show is obscure as fucking shit. It's never been popular, never been like a critical darling, like acting like it's this sacred cow. It's only just now even being talked about in the United States at all. This score 8.21 was like a 7.8 until literally this decade. Oh my God, she's paying for me to keep going. It's not a popular show. It's not that beloved. It recently has become popular with American queers, literally in the 2020s. Let's read what I wrote. September 2009. The recently released remastered edition of Revolutionary Girl Utena has been subbed and is being torrented by hundreds as we speak. What better reason does the blogosphere need to engage in a massive series viewing? Utena is one of the favorite anime of virtually everyone who's seen it, and is only waiting to entertain everyone who has yet to do so. Love Utena? It's time for a rewatch. Haven't seen it? Now's your chance. Utena has been the starting point for no shortage of brilliant posts on all kinds of blogs, but the talk of it is sporadic and uncommon. This is as good a chance as we'll get for those of you who've wanted to discuss the show for a long time to do so with relevance, and for new fans to mingle in and get acquainted. So here's what you do. For however long you need, you watch the show through and do your posts on it. If you want to blog it episodically or do a post after each arc, or even if you just flat out marathon it, do what you got to do and then make a post about it. Let Utena be a blogosphere revolution. As for me, I've decided to blog it episodically, so I'll be doing so below. I got like a lot of people to write about Utena by doing this. The anime blogosphere did not have a ton of writing about this show, and what it had I just thought was so good I wanted there to be more. I would highly recommend going and reading Ghost Lightning's writing about Utena. All right, let's watch more of this bullshit. Lily, your whole personality is abuse. Your entire personality is like the most aggressive, like salty, just like the most intense that you could possibly be. Okay, let's go back.
So many kids that it affected their writing as adults. I was one of those people, and one day I had to sit back and go, hang on, this is terrible. Why am I trying to emulate this? It's a sapphic romance story buried under baggage. And as someone who has been in abusive relationships and suffered a lot of abuse in the past, I can't watch this anymore. It's uncomfortable, and not in a challenging, thought-provoking, higher purpose way. It just feels like gratuity for the sake of gratuity. And after seeing the way a lot of people who liked this show went on to view women beating the shit out of each other as a precursor to romance, I can't help but doubt the sincerity. If anything, this show is the reason why
In the first episode of Utena, a man hits a woman, and then another woman gets so offended about this that she challenges that man to a fight, kicks his ass, and steals his girlfriend. Where in that was women fighting one another a precursor to romance?
And after seeing the way a lot of people who like this show went on to view women beating the shit out of each other as a precursor to romance,
so
a lot of people who like this show
so you're saying
feels
this about
like gratuitable,
other show?
not in a challenging, thought-provoking, higher purpose way. It just feels like gratuity for the sake of gratuity. And after seeing the way a lot of people who like this show went...
She's talking about Utena. She's like showing a picture of this other show and implying that people who liked Utena went on to liking this. Like that Utena is a pipeline to watching She-Ra, and that She-Ra is a show about women beating each other up before they fall in love. Or so the romance between Anthy and Utena never has any violence. Utena never lays a hand on Anthy. Anthony never lays a hand on Utena. It's kind of fucking it's the whole point.
Went on to view women beating the shit out of each other as a precursor to romance, I can't help but doubt the sincerity. If anything, this show is the reason why I overwhelming the backstory
so
they
fucking
tell to
great
someone and keeping a generally uplifting and optimistic tone. These days, Utena has a Rocky horror effect, as even though we've moved on and have good, worthwhile gay rapping
Rocky
cartoons,
horror
Zealots still
effect?
need to push it in people's faces because they can't accept that it's aged like milk. It also has an Avatar effect where you can see where it's fucked with people's senses, and I can't help but resent it for that.
Do you mean,
as I mentioned above, there's a tendency to view old...
Do you mean Avatar The Last Airbender or Avatar the movie? That one fucks with people's senses, I think, maybe. I can see what you... But if you're talking about the show, I don't know what the fuck you mean by that.
Old gay content as some kind of sacred relic that we must be eternally grateful for. It's part of the way modern culture idolizes heroes and tries to find the one show that broke down the door and paved the way for more gay animation. But the truth is, there was no hero. Everyone takes it in turns to take a smack at the door, and everyone's working together to lay down the bricks. No one person is so special that they're irreplaceable.
That was really bad. I don't want to make it personal, you know, like I don't want to come at Lily Orchard for anything but the takes here, but these takes are fuck awful. Have you watched the show since you were a child? I mean, yeah, okay. She said 6 years ago she was like disillusioned to it and determined that it's just a bunch of abuse, I guess. And half of this was talking about She-Ra. The level of projection. Was your last abusive relationship with someone who really liked Utena and She-Ra, and like therefore you've conflated these two fucking things in your head? I don't get it. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I've never seen She-Ra, so I don't... To me, all of that was really meaningless, you know? Oh, man. What is her favorite animes? I guess Samurai Pizza Cats? I mean, it just seems like you are eager to regress to childhood. Like, you are just begging to go back to being a kid where everything was pre-trauma. Like, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. I like Hamtaro. I'm not like knocking Hamtaro, but holy fucking shit. Okay, that was a very embarrassing video. Okay, we're reading the first chapter of Manhunt. Thank God there's a trans woman who can write. Holy fucking shit. Besides, present company.
That which strikes to the heart of me, booming bass on my soul's beat, something within that controls me, speaks to the world, never hold me, shatters to pieces the old me, and you could have had it all. What were you thinking? How could you fall from the limelight, casting your soul on blast? You were so damn beautiful, body musical, Fluttershy. Do you know what I'd give? Only for an ounce of the life you'd lived. I would kill for the fame, I would strangle the world till they cough my name. I would feed on the pain, no shame, greed seething, eating away at the brain. But you know what's most fucked up? The part I'm most jealous of? I love how you walked away. I wish I could just walk away, and this dream that seems to be in a reeling whirlwind of dismay. But I can't go back now. This is my language.